All right, do a real quick, uh, maybe recap if you want to call it. I'm really just gonna share really quickly. I can be as quick as I can. Just share a few thoughts on today. All right, so yesterday we traded this. Only one really good entry, which was below this bar. I'm not gonna talk more about this day. But this, I was looking for a short on this date only just because of the fact that you can see we have a trading range here and we have a wedge top here. Um, so you can probably get a lower high. Actually, the Globex high is up here somewhere. But anyway, lower high, and you know my favorite thing whenever we're trading, um, the market is always seeking to test support or resistance. That was one area I was very interested in. Remember the prior day we talked about this bar, um, and you have to also question support. So we marked this level, Friday's low, and that's support. And I made a trading range here. And when we break out like this, we're going for a measured move. So I took the measured move from this high to the low of this candle. It was somewhere around here, but I think you could, if you want, you could use the low of that range. So technically, you have a range here and another range here. So you know that if you have a double bottom, the market's going to try and get here. It didn't actually get there in the close, but I think it did in the overnight. And then this is the first leg, pullback to wedge, right? So it's a pullback, a wedge, possibly for a second leg down, right? Now, why am I'm only doing this so we can start talking about this. When this happened, I actually considered taking a sell here in the overnight with a stop up here. I just, and then my target would have been this level, which is this level, would have either been here or here. But then there's a gap. There's a gap here I was also targeting. The market is always seeking support. It's trying to close support and resistance. It would be easy if I just use a 1 hour time frame. So you can see we're clearly in a bull channel, right? If you want, you can use around this channel initially. Now I'm using this one for now. But each time we go make a new high, we pull back so deep. Like the pullbacks are really deep. Then we have this breakout. I remember what I said about gaps, right? Market trying to close gaps. And why do I think this gap would close when we're up here, right? This would have been a good target. But why? Because every time we've broken out, we've closed all those gaps. So why would the market do anything different? So this is because the contracts have shifted in price. So everything, all the levels are, anyway, doesn't matter. All right, so we broke out here, we filled the gap here, right? And then we've broken out here, so we're going to fill this gap. We tried here, we failed. This is the second attempt. So we either went higher or went lower. And this is strong enough down, we'll get a second leg. But this was why I wanted to take this short in the overnight, but just never got around to doing it. But anyway, so now when the market opened, we opened just below this gap area. So it was a bit difficult for me to plan a trade. Started looking for other areas and other gap levels. And there is one here, there was one here. We can take this one. Don't have the tool here. But anyway, you get the point. So we have this level here, we have this level here. The market is going to bounce on one of those. And that's literally what happened here. All right, so let's go look at. So I marked that level. I marked this, but in the overnight we broke it and we still went down. So was it in the overnight? No, no. I was looking at this level at first. And as you can see, bar one, bar two bear bars, which are very strong. I was considering selling bar two, but I didn't want necessarily bar one, but I couldn't sell it because whenever I'm trading, I always look at the 6,000 tick chart. So this is, I've taken the crosshair off. But this, maybe it's best I just put it back on. Sorry. Crosshair, scroll. All right. So just so we can see it. So bar one, I wanted to sell bar one, but as you can see, we moved up and we formed two bull bars here. So I just was very hesitant because selling bar one, possibly bar two could be an overlapping bull bar, and therefore we're definitely not going strongly down. Then when I saw bar two close on its low, I put a stop entry here and took a short here and was targeting two legs. This is disappointment, this bar here, and it was very disappointing. I mean, you've seen this. I mean, it was three pushes up, two pushes up, one, two, one, pull back two, pull back three. So it's a wedge. But it's really, really disappointing. Kept toying with me because it went down for a bit, then went up, went down for a bit, then went up on the last minute. And then got out somewhere around here. But as you can see, 1, 2, 3. So we have a wedge. So this was a good buy. I didn't actually buy this bar. I waited for a while before I bought it. I think I was distracted with something else. But then you can see immediate disappointment straight after that. So there's still a lot of selling going on, and it's a very slow rotation throughout the day. Whenever I see a wedge like this, by default, I know the market is going to try and test the moving average. Oh, there's also another moving average. I always put the 9 on. I only put the 9 on whenever we're trending or there's a potential trend. I don't put it on my charts otherwise because it just makes the chart cluttered. Just take the label off. We don't want it to clutter the chart. Price change. There we go. So normally I put the 9 on. And if we reject the 9 like we did here, then I think, okay, we're probably going to trend. But the problem with this is the bulls have made enough money here to convince them that they're going to make more money. And another thing is, whenever the market is doing this, pulling back so deeply, you have to suspect that we're probably going into a broad channel or trading range. And in that situation, you want to start targeting those gaps. So think about it. This bull here who bought, and this bear who sold down here to this bull, right, is probably going to target this bull bar over here and vice versa. So therefore, I would mark the bottom of this bar or maybe this bar somewhere, and I know that it's going to form some sort of resistance. So you can always draw, I don't know if you want, you can call it a supply zone, whatever you want to call it, right? So this coincides with potentially what the moving average would be when the price gets here. At this point, when you're here, the moving average is all the way up here. So you're thinking, well, we have resistance here, we have resistance here. These are areas to look to mark. Okay. Another thing I also do is I try and draw these trend lines. I mean, I don't normally need to because I use the moving average to guide that. The moment you get a break above the moving average and all that kind of stuff, then you know something's going to happen. Here we have a big bull surprise overlapping this leg. So we're in a stairs pattern. We get two legs up, and this is an L2. So I took a short here, got triggered on this bar, but it was very disappointing. And then we got a bull bar, so I got out for a small loss. I should have just scaled in because the bears were still going to sell this level because in 20 bars we hadn't yet tested this. The other thing again is look at where we tested this level as well. If you go to the daily chart, I don't have a daily here, but if I put on a daily, so 405-minute chart, you'll notice, I'll just take the lines out. That literally is this level. So that is 4253.0. So 253 to, yeah, we go 42. Hang on, did I doing this right? Am I 4243? What am I saying? 4253, 4243. So that the moving average is on this level. So we're already testing it. And think about it. In so many bars, this is the first time we're testing it in I think over 20 bars. If in over 20 bars, this is the last time we tested it to here, that is 27 bars. We haven't tested the moving average in 27 bars. But of course, we're going to find some buyers over there. So that already is telling you that we're going to find some support, right? So this area is a buy area on the high time frame on this channel already. So therefore, it doesn't make sense, I guess, for me to be going short. At the time, I'm not thinking like that. I see this and I'm like, okay, this is a breakout test, right? Usually whenever we test breakout points, we tend to reverse. And it's a breakout test, and as you can see, we're reversing. And of course, where's the market going to? The breakout point here. So it made sense to just hold targeting here. We never really got here. We did in the overnight. And that's where price is selling off right now. So if you look at that to the tick, selling off. So I generally love looking for breakout points. I learned that from Al actually. Whenever we're in a trading range, you know the market's going to try and test the breakout point. It didn't actually get here. It tried to here, but it missed it. So chances are we're going lower. So this is a bear trend. And we've closed the breakout here. We're probably going to try and close a gap down here somewhere, possibly I reckon this level. So maybe the overnight might come down here and test this level. All right, anyway, what happened today otherwise? So we formed a wedge here. I did take a sell here, and then I started to notice no, this is where I had a problem, but took a sell here. First of all, we have first leg down, second leg down, and then we started to do this. Already had a minor reversal, had a breakout pullback, and then this is all we got. We couldn't even get to bar 18. At that point, I suspected that we're in a triangle, which was this to this, right? So 3 reversals, 1, 2, 3, or you could go 1, 2, yeah, 5 points, 3 reversals. So in a triangle and breakout mode. At the time, I wasn't thinking about it like that. All I saw was we're making high highs. Then we had a new test of this level, test of this. I took a sell here. Because the deep pullbacks are so deep, I'm expecting us to try and get back to the lows. Maybe this will be a first leg pullback, second leg, and we'll form a nice wedge bottom. But that was not what was happening. If you look at it, you can see that we're forming a rounded bottom. So we've already formed a wedge here. I thought we'll get a higher low major trend reversal, which would test this low a bit closer to this low. Didn't happen. Oh, look at that. There's another trade I should have taken short. But anyway, so instead, it formed a triangle. We started to go up. All right, so we have a very strong breakout here. First reversal will be minor, and we had a second leg up. This is such a strong up that we probably get a second leg. This is a credible sell. Why do I like this sell? Because it's a climax, and there's a big gap between the MA and price. So if you have a bear bar with a gap, closing on its low is definitely a good sell. Take this sell to at least the moving average, and we start to get bad follow through. This was what was annoying me again. The fact that we started to do this. We went sideways for a good 15, 20 minutes, or even 25 minutes, and we formed an L2. Not a really good bar, but then that led to this. So this is a bear trap. If you get a bear trap after a wedge top, then you know that you're probably going the opposite direction. Small pullback bull trend. Whenever with a small pullback bull trend, I do not even take shorts. I don't even try it because this is pulling the MA with it. There are two things the price does. It either gets pulled by the MA or the MA pulls it. So, like here, for instance, now, the MA is being pulled to the price, right? So therefore, chances are we're going to keep going lower. But here, the price is attracted to the MA, so it's oscillating. At this point, it's not oscillating anymore. It's now pulling the MA along with it. Here we have a climax, so this is a credible sell. However, this is too close to the MA to sell. I did consider selling this, and I thought if it didn't close here, maybe a bit higher, I would have sold it. But down here, no, this is way too close to the MA because you've had a small pullback bull trend over here, possible wedge top and a double top. Yeah, it looks like a credible sell. I'd rather take a second entry. But look at what happened. We got a really good bull bar, and this would definitely is enough to shake enough all the bulls out. And then you get a double top, but you're now it's all failing. Pull back, next leg, pull back, another leg, so you have a wedge top. And it's being dragged to this breakout point, in my opinion. Yeah. All right. So, like I said, this is a real quick recap for today. I have marked this up, and I will be posting this on my Instagram with all the different areas where I could have sold and where you could have bought. Today was definitely a bull day than a bear day. You had more buying opportunities, in my opinion, and you never got stopped out if you're a bull. You put your stop here, put your stop here. The bulls just kept on getting higher highs. and higher lows. So Noble got stopped out. If you're a bear, you definitely got stopped out after this because, well, after the triangle. And that's the thing about triangles. Once you have a rotation from a triangle, you you know that sides have switched. So you just have to just kind of stay on the side that is protecting their stops. All right, that is the recap for today. Try again tomorrow. Oh, so what do I think tomorrow? Actually, there was another thing. Yeah, so what do I think about tomorrow? Um, so again, if we look at first time we're testing the MA in so many bars. Look at the last time we did that. Huge breakout. Um, Here we've gone, what, two legs down. So one pullback, two. Um, this is a really good buy signal. This was two legs down here. You just can't see it. But the only thing I'm thinking though is this gap needs to close. Yeah, this gap needs to close. So this is the target at the moment. So we'll probably get a lot of selling here, maybe a bear trap, possibly get a second leg up. Let's use the 20K. This is what I think. It may not happen. So we could probably get a second leg up, like a nice wedge top. This area is an area of interest, this level. If this level cannot, if we don't close this level, then there's a high chance we're going to go down for another leg down and probably close this gap here. So just mark that. Right, so, because this is just so steep, you can even see it. It's like, oh no, I just noticed something. Okay, it's not exactly from this high. Yeah, so it broke the trend line. Um, and this is an overshoot, so chances are we were going to go to the other side of the channel. That's another thing. Why didn't I think about that? Today it's just now I'm just seeing this and I completely forgot. I think I drew it on my other chart, but I forgot that once we have an overshoot, we generally tend to go to the other side of the channel. So the price just kept on going, and that's always a good thing to do to kind of hold for that. But there's like a huge gap here. It's not a huge gap, just a tiny gap here between here and here. This is a huge gap that needs to be filled. So maybe get a double bottom and then fill that gap and then go higher possibly. Because you can see we have a trend line here. If not, we will break the trend line and probably try and fill this gap, try and get down here, try and get down here and here. All right, so tomorrow should be interesting. Let's see what we get.